Once upon a time, there was a happy young girl called Dorothy. She lived on a farm with her Aunt Em, Uncle Henry, and a little dog called Toto. One day, there was a terrible storm. Trees and bushes and even cows and sheep were caught up in the storm and whizzed up into the air. Dorothy and Toto were at home, but the storm made the farmhouse spin around up in the air. It spun round and round and seemed to go on spinning forever. Dorothy and Toto felt very tired and fell fast asleep. But when they woke up, they got the surprise of their lives. The farmhouse had landed right in the middle of Munchkin Country, and Munchkin Country was in the magical land of Oz. They went outside, and the trees and bushes were all in such beautiful colors, they seemed to glow. Even the sky was the bluest blue Dorothy had ever seen. It really was magical. Dorothy and Toto stood staring at all the beautifully colored trees and grasses. "Oh, Toto," said Dorothy, "what a wonderful place." The Wicked Witch of the East had been sleeping nearby, but when the house landed in Oz, it had come down with a great crash. The Wicked Witch woke up and was so frightened that she ran off as fast as she could, but she had left her magical sparkly gold shoes just lying there. "Who do you think these beautiful shoes belong to, Toto?" asked Dorothy. "Woof," said Toto. All of a sudden, standing in front of them, was the Good Witch of the North. Dorothy and Toto were really surprised. But the Good Witch looked kind, and she had a lovely smile. She was with 3 Munchkins. Munchkins are funny little people with high voices and friendly faces. They were very happy that the Wicked Witch of the East had run off. The Good Witch said, "Dorothy, the magical gold shoes belong to the Wicked Witch, but they are yours now." "Oh, thank you," said Dorothy as she put them on. "They are just the right size." "Woof," said Toto. "Can I ask you a question, please?" asked Dorothy. "Of course, my dear," answered the Good Witch. "You see, Toto and I would really like to go home," said Dorothy. The Good Witch said, "To return home, you must follow the yellow brick road to the Emerald City. There you must ask the great and powerful Wizard of Oz to help you." Dorothy could see the yellow brick road and nodded her head. Then the Good Witch kissed Dorothy on her forehead. That kiss protected her from harm on her journey. She set off with Toto along the yellow brick road. On their way, Dorothy saw a scarecrow who was hanging from a pole. The scarecrow was a very friendly and happy person. He suddenly spoke and said, "You know, all I've ever wanted was a brain." Dorothy, Toto, and her new friend the scarecrow set off down the yellow brick road. Soon they heard a funny squeaking noise. The noise was coming from a Tin Woodman whose joints had all rusted up. Dorothy spotted an oil can nearby and squirted oil into his knees and elbows. The Tin Woodman thanked Dorothy and said, "I'm just a tin man, but all I've ever wanted was a heart." They all walked along the yellow brick road. They spotted a lion who was trying to hide under a bush. He was a cowardly lion and was frightened of almost everything. Dorothy told him he would be safe with her and Toto. Then the cowardly lion said, "All I've ever wanted was courage." Dorothy, Toto the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion all set off. Before very long they could see the Emerald City in the distance. It looked magical and seemed to be made of green glass and emeralds. Each of them was going to ask for help from the wizard. One by one, they went into his throne room, but they couldn't see anyone. They were all very surprised when they heard a deep, booming voice say, "I will help each and every one of you, but first you must get rid of the Wicked Witch of the West. She rules Winky Country. Follow the yellow brick road again, and you will find where she lives." So Dorothy, Toto, the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion set off once again. But the Wicked Witch of the West looked through her special telescope and saw them coming. She sent a pack of wolves after them to chase them away. But the Tin Man waved his axe at them, and they all crept away, frightened. Then she sent a flock of wild crows to fly around their heads. But the Scarecrow did what scarecrows do, and they all flew away. Then she sent a swarm of black bees to sting them. But they couldn't sting the Tin Woodman, because he was made of tin. Then she sent some of her Winky army to attack them. But the lion stood on his hind legs and roared at them. The Winkies were all frightened, and they all ran away. Dorothy was furious with the Wicked Witch of the West. She saw a bucket of water and had an idea. She picked up the bucket and threw water over the witch's head. Then everyone was amazed when the witch slowly melted away. The Winkies were so happy that the Wicked Witch had gone. They asked the Tin Woodman to be their ruler. He was very happy to be asked. Dorothy and her new friends set off back to the Emerald City. They went into the wizard's throne room and heard his deep, booming voice. Toto wandered over to a corner to have a look round, but he knocked over a screen in a corner of the room. And there stood a very ordinary little man standing at a microphone. "Oh dear," he said, "I'm not really a magician. I'm just an ordinary old man. I came to Oz when my hot air balloon took a wrong turn." Dorothy and her friends told him that they had got rid of the Wicked Witch. Hey, let me see," said the old man. He went behind a curtain and brought out 3 funny-looking bits and pieces. He handed the Scarecrow some bran, some pins, and some needles. Then he said, "Bran, new brains for you. Just put it all under your hat." "Oh, thank you," said the Scarecrow. He put all the things into his hat and popped it on his head. "I feel brainy already," he said with a big smile on his face. Then he handed the Tin Woodman a silk heart that was stuffed with sawdust. The Tin Woodman was so happy and said, "Thank you. I shall rule the Winkies with love." Then he handed the lion a little bottle with the word "Courage" on the label. "Oh, thank you," said the lion. "When I drink this, I shall never be afraid of anything ever again." "Now, Dorothy," said the old man. "Woof," said Toto. "And you too, little fellow. I'm going to take you both back home in my hot air balloon. Scarecrow, when I'm gone, you can be the ruler of Oz." The old man got into his hot air balloon. "Come on, Dorothy," he called. But naughty little Toto had seen a kitten and went chasing after it. Just then, the ropes holding the balloon broke, and off went the old man high up in the sky. Toto came back and wagged his tail. Dorothy began to cry. "Oh, Toto, how will we ever get home?" she sobbed. Dorothy looked up to see the Good Witch of the North smiling at her. "Those sparkly gold shoes of yours can take you anywhere you want to go. Just click your heels together 3 times and make a wish," she said. Dorothy picked Toto up, clicked her heels together 3 times and said, I wish I was back home." Suddenly she went whirling up in the air. Up and up she went, and the gold shoes fell off her feet. Before she knew it, she landed on the ground with a very soft bump. And there in front of them was her family farmhouse. Dorothy and Toto ran in, and there was her Aunt Em with a big smile on her face. Dorothy smiled happily and said, "There's no place like home." "Woof, woof," said Toto.